Yeah, hi guys. Good afternoon. It's been a long time. I know it. Um, this topic is out of nowhere, obviously, but it's everywhere, but out of nowhere. It's basically on what's going on currently in our country, in India. This is June 2021, and I've been having these thoughts since May 2021, and a lot of thoughts. One of the worst periods in our country's history, and of course, we had to live through it while being bang in the middle of it. And as a young person, I feel we have been taken for a ride, an absolute ride for the past 1.5 2 years. Older people are under the threat of the virus, but the younger people are under the threats of the indirect effects of the virus. We'll talk about that in detail sometime later. But for now, I would like to focus on two things. Number one is the vaccination drive and the argument of private versus public. India was exposed completely in terms of its attitudes, you know, and its reality in the last 2 months. I'm not even. This is not even related. This is related to COVID. Of course, it all happened because of it, but the aftermath is and the whole. You know, I would say the whole fiasco. There's no other word that erupted and whatever followed through, it just exposed who we really are. It didn't cause anything. And here's the thing, right? I think there are a few myths we need to stop believing in. Number one, the myth is that India is a rich country. I refuse to believe it. No. Like, a bunch of people have a lot of money. We like to look at them because they make us feel good. We, the middle class, look at the rich and feel good that one day maybe we can be that. And we go and show it to our Western counterparts and our Southeast Asian counterparts, and show them and tell them that, hey, listen, we are not poor, okay? So stop calling us poor. Look at this guy, he's so rich. Look at this house. This house is so big. This that. Look at this conglomerate. We are so huge. These are the number of people we employ. We own foreign brands too now, and we bask in their glory. We get nothing out of it except for social validation, while that is completely and utterly um, uh, an escapist approach. It is an incredibly escapist approach, because obviously the reality being that India is a horrendously poor country, and it will remain so for the next 30 40 years if we don't do anything about it. Which takes me to myth number two, which means that India, um, there is it is inevitable that India will grow, whatever the condition is right now, whether they are rich or poor, whatever, however you want to define it. It is inevitable that India will grow. It's the only market, ye wo aisa vaisa. You know, all the Western markets don't have space anymore. They have negative interest rates. Southeast Asia also has saturated. China won't let anyone enter. um, so India is the next logical choice for the consumption based capitalist economy. India is the most logical next big market, and India has to grow no matter what. I doubt it. While I hope that is true, but there's also another side which showed during this entire crisis. It showed our real face. It showed the fact that we are naturally capitalistic. Like the Americans, we are naturally capitalistic. I would say even the Chinese have a certain element of capitalism which has made them become so good at this game. Correct. We do not. We are still a socialist nation in a lot of ways, and uh, we are not going to grow, in air quotes, grow, unless we become capitalist, and we have to be we have to pay our dues to the capitalist system. Otherwise, we are not going to grow. So this myth about India is going to grow no matter what. While also, you can't have the cake and eat it too. Okay, you can't. You either are a socialist or a capitalist. You can have a mixed system, where you do not let the rapacious tendencies of the capitalist system to take advantage of the underprivileged and the underserved, and the downtrodden, while ensuring the ones who can grow. you know. India from the very, see, it's a cultural issue, understand, and I can understand why it's not happening. It's because in India we all want everyone to be equal, to a detriment. Okay, uh, we are asking for equal treatment and equal opportunities, not equal suffering. India spreads equal misery amongst its people, you know, कि अगर वो नाखुश है तो तुम भी नाखुश रहोगे. You have no right to be happy if someone else is happy, if someone else is unhappy. I'm sorry, that it's not a good attitude to work towards. Okay, even if you want to, I know I'm not being exactly specific, but I genuinely feel we celebrate poverty, we celebrate, and this has been going on since the freedom struggle times, and I don't blame the leaders who did that. When there are so many poor people, you better celebrate poverty. And having people in my family, which includes my father, who have seen actual poverty, not having money to eat food, having to borrow money to run the household. I mean, genuine poverty, with uneducated parents, their parents being absolutely uneducated. I may not have experienced poverty, thankfully, but I know people who have. They call it a curse. My father is literally scared of poverty till date. Now that doesn't sound like a blessing to me. That doesn't sound like something to celebrate. Even today my father can't, he just can't talk about it. Otherwise that man likes to talk about anything and everything. But if there is anything you know about trauma, you will know the person who's undergone genuine trauma doesn't talk about it. Okay, poverty is horrible, it's horrendous, nobody deserves it. Okay, but you cannot solve it by celebrating it. So why do we celebrate poverty? And why are we beholden to the socialist system, which, mind you, was put into our constitution in the 70s by our Prime Minister, Miss Indira Gandhi, the late Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. If I'm not wrong, it was put in the 70s. Yeah, India wasn't a socialist country in the beginning, at least in the constitution. In practice, yes, it was, because we practiced something called as Nehruvian socialism, and we had something disparagingly called as the Hindu growth rate, which was 3%, 2%, and all of that jazz. Less than that sometimes, probably. And look at the way we are insulted. Is this the sign of a great country? Huh? Matlab, this is at least the one which wants to grow. Let's then stop pretending that we are a world power or a Vishwaguru or any crap of that sort. Okay, we are not going to grow unless and until we have more capitalistic tendencies. Which brings me to my next point, the third myth, that we cannot that privatization is bad for India. Now let me tell you something. The India we live in right now, currently, even the small traces of urban growth that we have, in some of the worst cities in the world are Indian cities by any metric. By the way, they are the most polluted, they're the most dense, and they're generally difficult to live in. And these are not my, this is not opinion. This is fact. We have the world's some of the world's worst polluted cities. Okay, they are jam packed, the horrible amenities. Okay, these are actual rankings. Go and check them out. Just check them out. Top 10 most polluted cities in the world. आपको मिल जाएगा आपका आंसर. I'm not saying I hate our cities. I love them, but that's because I live here. You know, I live in the cities. I work in the cities. तो obviously है, एक affinity है. मतलब कितना भी बुरा हो, अब घर तो घर होता है. Correct, but still, the only little bit of growth that we have seen, the capitalism that has shown upon us, happened because our country was so badly managed in the 80s, like throughout post independence. But until the late 80s, it so happened that our foreign reserves were destroyed. We had no option but to open up our economy to get some money. Just yesterday, there was news that India has $600 billion worth of foreign reserves. पहले तो मतलब एक टाइम था कि गया था, ऑलमोस्ट गया था. We had P Chidambaram at that time. I don't think he was the finance minister. It was Manmohan Singh, who was the finance minister under PV Narasimha Rao, who opened up our economy. I think P Chidambaram was part of that team. I think so. I think the Narasimha Rao Commission. I think so. And of course, Manmohan Singh led the whole thing. What I'm trying to say is it all happened because of that. वो भी गलती से हुआ है, जानबूझ के नहीं हुआ है। वो भी गलती से हुआ है, जो भी छोटा-मोटा ग्रोथ हुआ था हमारा, एंड देन वी जस्ट पिक्ड इट अप, यू नो। 90s में जो ग्रोथ हुआ, एंट्री हुआ, 2000s में जो ग्रोथ हुआ, 2010s में कम हुआ थोड़ा-सा, एंड देन we have been just on the downward path in terms of growth and GDP and those other metrics, in the last 5-6 years because of horrendous economic mismanagement by the ruling government. But not just that, I feel India has grown despite its politicians, and despite its loser mentality of hardcore socialism in all aspects. Socialism is good in certain parts of the economy, not all parts of the economy. Of course, that doesn't mean we privatize everything. That doesn't mean I'm not advocating selling off SBI before everyone gets their knickers in a twist. I'm not Air India ko becho please. Ha. Because, and that's not me saying it, it's the government trying to sell Air India for the last decade, by the way, and more than that, if I remember correctly. We need more private. Okay, we need more private in this country. And here's the main crux of this entire episode, right? That why do we need more private? Now I'll give you a simple example of the vaccination drive that is going on in our country. It's less of a drive, more of a crawl, to be very honest. And let's be honest, like, we have 1.4 billion people. That's an estimate because our census hasn't been updated. And itna sara log mein, just getting your vaccination done can be difficult, of course, and we should not discount that fact. We are not Israel, which has like what, 1 crore people, 1.2 crore people, less than that, in fact, if you ask me. And Mumbai has those many people, yeah. Mumbai has those many people. So when you have these many people, chota number, you can get them done. New Zealand and all, everyone is like, yeah, Jacinta Ardern is such a great prime minister, I wish she was in India. There are more people doing drugs outside Wadala railway station right now than there are people in New Zealand. Keep your mouth shut if you're one of those people. Okay, keep your mouth shut, please, please. Understand, first of all, if you have any sense, go and read how she became the prime minister in the first place. It was purely by chance. She wasn't a popular leader until now. Okay, वो coalition government में बनी थी. Anyway, it doesn't matter. uh, Speaking of vaccination, right? We have this vaccination thing going on in urban India right now. I think we have like what, 15 to 20% of our population which is vaccinated till now. That to first dose. I'm not even talking about second dose. मैं बात ही नहीं कर रहा. Second dose मतलब वो तो बहुत आगे का हो गया. The union government is saying this. I'm not saying this. That we will get, entire country will be able to be vaccinated by the end of the year, by December 2021. I hope that happens. Um, Closer to home, Mr. Iqbal Chahal, great guy, working for Mumbai, he has said that Mumbai will get vaccinated in the next 3 months. I completely agree. Mumbai will get vaccinated in the next 3 months, and I'll tell you how. It's with the partnerships that private hospitals will have with other entities, and of course, the government, once it decides to, you know, just just stop in there in fighting with the central government or wherever, whoever they are fighting with. I think we should be able to sort it out on a governmental level. This is in no way a criticism of the government. Nobody ever becomes a politician or a governor thinking, what will I do in a once in a century pandemic? So we need to understand that our criticism also needs to be a bit tempered. And if that's the rule you are applying for the state government, please also apply it to the central government. ऐसा मोदी 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 करके चिल्लाने का नहीं, ठीक है? ना सपोर्ट में, ना क्रिटिसिज्म में, ठीक है? So please remember that if you're going to be nice to the state government, be also nice to the state government, central, and vice versa. If you're saying Modi क्या कर सकता है, state is a health subject, तो मोदी क्यों है फिर? कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा ना सर को. Prime Minister should also do something. Na? They have dropped the ball by not ordering. We were the world's vaccine laboratory or manufacturing facility. क्या हो गया? हमारे घर पे ही हमको ही नहीं मिल रहा है हमारी बनाई हुई चीज. नहीं मिल रही है ना? Why? It's complete lack of planning, utter mismanagement, and in a lot of ways, arrogance. That's fine. That's okay. I'm not the only one saying it. But here's my challenge, right? People are complaining via private hospitals, and you have seen this. Many people are getting vaccinated by their own companies. Have you guys seen this? many people are getting vaccinated by their own companies. अगर आप किसी कंपनी में काम करते हो तो वहीं पे आपका वैक्सीनेशन हो रहा है. There are private hospitals that are tying up with private housing societies and getting the vaccinations done. There are private hospitals tying up with clubs like Rotary Club, Lions Club, and stuff like that. And they are getting it done. Sometimes it's for free. For example, the Rotary Club is all doing it for free. You have private hospitals tying up with companies, and companies are reimbursing for their employees and one another person or whatever, just the employee, whatever, but it's for free for the concerned employee. When it comes to your housing societies and all, you have to pay a certain amount and over and above the usual MRP and all, but more or less it's the same amount, and it's fine. Even if sometimes you can get vaccinated, go to your company and be like, reimburse kara do. And I'm only talking about us urban young people, okay? I'm just talking about us, okay? Now here's the crux of it. You cannot bitch and moan and call this government Adani Ambani Sarkar, or whatever the hell you want to call them, of being hand in glove with crony capitalists, so-called crony capitalists, when you yourself work in American banks, European MNCs, uh, European banks, major Indian multinationals present in 90 plus countries worldwide. Huh? You can't work for these people. You can't work for consulting firms out of America, out of Europe, out of Australia. You can't work for these major global corporations, take the benefit of working for them, get freely vaccinated, and then complain about privatization and capitalism in the country. Have some shame. It is disgusting. As our great prime minister says, hypocrisy की भी सीमा होती है. तुम लोग ऐसा आईटी कंपनी के लिए काम करेगा एंड बोलेगा कि सरकार देश बेच रहा है, इसको बेच रहा है, उसको बेच रहा है. मेरे को तो वैक्सीनेशन मिल गया, मेरे को टेंशन नहीं है. आई जस्ट हैड टू फिल एन ईमेल, आई हैड टू गो एंड सम कमर्शियल कॉम्प्लेक्स, आई हैड टू गो टू बीकेसी, आई हैड टू गो टू अंधेरी, आई हैड टू गो टू हियर, आई हैड टू गो टू देयर, एंड मेरा ऑफिस के अंदर ही अंदर हो गया. Now, if this is not class and privilege, class-based privilege, and capitalism enforced and privatization enforced saving of lives, what is? A good question will be, इन लोगों को कहाँ से मिल रहा है जब गवर्नमेंट के कोविन साइट्स पे किसी को ज़्यादा कुछ मिल नहीं रहा है? दैट्स अ टॉपिक फॉर अनदर डे. बट तुमको तो सब मिल रहा है. तुम तो बैठ के यू आर एंजॉइंग द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ कैपिटलिज्म, यू आर एंजॉइंग द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ प्राइवेटाइजेशन. तुम आंगनवाड़ी में जाके काम करके अगर बोल रहे हो ना कि आप कैपिटलिज्म सक्स और सोशलिज्म इज द वे आई विल रिस्पेक्ट यू, दैट्स योर ओपिनियन, यू आर लिविंग दैट लाइफ. Don't work for American consulting firms and tell me ki we need socialism in this country. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's disgusting, it's disingenuous, it's insincere, it's unnecessary, and it's putting us back in our country. Everyone wants to work for a tech firm. Tech, I want to work in tech. I want to work in tech, bro. Work from home hota hai pura time. Tech. Yeah, you want to work in tech. Why can't that villager work in tech someday, or his or her son or daughter work in tech someday? They are not working in tech if they are going to be hardcore socialists. I'll promise you that they're not going to work in tech, at least in the way we work in tech. Have some have some perspective. India has to privatize in the future. We have to privatize in the future. We have to privatize more and give more opportunity to our people's enterprising spirit. Why should people only in Mumbai, NCR, Hyderabad, Bangalore get to enjoy the freedom of, get to enjoy the benefits of capitalism and even partake in it? Of course, there are downsides to capitalism. There are downsides to privatization. तुम्हारे जूते स्केचर्स के, तुम्हारी घड़ी फॉसिल की, टैग हेयर की, तुम्हारे कपड़े फ्लाइंग मशीन के या फिर अरमानी के वॉचेस होंगे तुम्हारे, रेबैन की तुम्हारी सनग्लासेस, डीएसएलआर कैनन का, jeans killer key. I know I'm showing my middle class nature or background with these brands, but these are the ones that are coming to my mind right now. Levi's jeans are good, by the way. They're very good. They're expensive, but they're good. तुम ये सब पहन के अपने आईफोन पे या अपने गूगल पिक्सल पे बैठ के आप ट्विटर पे या फिर फेसबुक पे टाइप करोगे सरकार देश बेच रहा है, शर्म नहीं आती तुमको? Where is your shame? At least, and there is absolutely nothing else that we are doing other than just bitching about privatization. Let there be more manufacturing and service centers in Jalgaon, Maharashtra. I went to Nasik the other day. Do you know how under penetrated our country is with the basics of urbanization and convenience and job growth? We were in Nasik some time back, and उधर कैडबरी नहीं मिला था मेरे को. सोला विनयार्ड्स पता है? सोला विनयार्ड्स, एवरीवन मस्ट बी नोइंग सोला विनयार्ड्स at least because of सोला फेस्ट. It's quite high profile, very upper middle class. वहाँ पे अगर आप जाओगे ना, सोला विनयार्ड्स के आजू बाजू में there are other vineyards also, and there are these other places like chota mota places around in Nasik, and we couldn't find Cadbury in and around that area. Of course, I'm not saying there is no Cadbury in Nasik, there is, but in that area, particular area, and many other places in that place, which was kind of and very secluded. And Sula is not exactly Nasik, of course, I get it. But कहाँ है एकदम कॉर्नर में? एंड नासिक इज नॉट लाइक 10,000 मतलब 1,000 kilometers inside India. It's not. It's like deep in the deep recess of our country. No. मुंबई से 2 घंटा है नासिक. 2-3 घंटा है नासिक मुंबई से. At least नवी मुंबई से, I would say. We don't have the basics over there. Of course, we had gone to a secluded place, ऐसा हो लेक वेक के बाजू में, उधर जोमेटो नहीं है, स्विगी नहीं है. But I, in my eyes, I'm like, bro, मतलब इधर तो कुछ है ही नहीं. Now that's a very urban millennial spoiled way of looking at it. But what I looked at it was like, wow, there is so much opportunity in this country. We found a counterfeited Cadbury over there, by the way. There were no Lays, there was no Balaji, there was Diamond, and the FMCG reach in an area is a very good indicator of that area's social progress. By the way, capitalistic progress at least. You should have a look at it. So when I saw that, I was like, on one side that's sad, yeah, यहाँ पे नहीं है. On the other side, I was like, bro, यहाँ पे बहुत opportunity है, यहाँ पे बहुत कुछ हो सकता है अगले 10-15 साल में. It's we have a long way to go. Our country is very poor. We have a lot of people coming up. Our population isn't getting solved that easily. And we जितना लोग पैदा हो रहा है ना, उतना jobs नहीं आ रहा है. And government doesn't exist just to give away jobs, mind you. Government doesn't exist just to give away your jobs. I always ask people what would have had happened if BSNL was tasked with getting 5G in India or 4G in India. For 5G तो बहुत हो गया, 4G in India. You will be like, nahin, ye log aisa karta hai, wo log waisa karta hai. And they purposely sell it off to this. You can't really blame government all the time. I'm like, I'm not. All I'm saying is private has to exist and they need their fair share of opportunity to grow and scale the nation. 4G in India really, really took off after Jio came along and just upset the apple cart, so to speak. You need that free market fight in the, out in the open. Having been part of that system, I can also tell you it is exploitative in its own way. उसके बारे में एक अलग पॉडकास्ट करेंगे, वो अलग बात है. But it cannot be compared to that bonded labor shit that we do in the villages, man. क्या है ये? We can't have that. We can, you know what, we can have that. Then do not say कि सुपर पावर नहीं बना. The same people who will bitch and moan about सरकार इसको बेच रहा है, सरकार उसको बेच रहा है. बस तुम लोग हर साल एक कोई इंटरनेशनल ट्रिप जाने का प्लानिंग करता है, मुझे पता है. ठीक है, तुम्हारा इंस्टाग्राम देखा है मैंने. शर्म करो, थोड़ा सा शर्म करो. We need our fellow countrymen to grow and to have the same opportunities that we have. As simple as that. That's my entire point. अब आप बोलोगे वैक्सीनेशन से कैसे रिलेटेड है ये सौरभ? लाइक इट इज, बस give the private people the mandate to vaccinate wherever they can, and you will solve it. People are like, oh, we shouldn't pay for it. अरे तू पैसे मत दे, मैं देता हूँ जा. I'm an idiot. Okay, I'm an idiot. I'm ready to pay. I'm such an idiot. I'm ready to pay to save my own life. I don't want to die from COVID. I don't want anyone to die from COVID. But I also know no one else, not everyone is going to have 1000 rupees to save their lives in this country. That's how poor our country is. But if me paying 1000 rupees is saving the government from spending that money on me for a free vaccine, I think if you're middle class and you can afford to pay for the vaccine, you should not pay for the vaccine. Sorry, you should not take up that offer. You should actually go and pay for the vaccine. And if you finally find a way in which your वो भी हमारी जरूरत नहीं है. हमारा privilege देखो, हमारी प्राइवेट कंपनियां हमें फ्री में वैक्सीनेट कराती है, फिर हमको एक ऐसा प्लकार्ड देती है जिसके साथ हम पोस्ट करके फोटो डालते हैं कि आई गॉट वैक्सीनेटेड. फ्री का हो रहा है हमको इस सिस्टम में, फ्री का. The government is also trying to get it done for free in the rural parts and the underprivileged, for the underprivileged people in urban areas also, many of them here. Mumbai is 60% slums, if anyone is unaware. So we need to, doesn't mean they're all poor, not at all. Matlab, if anyone is in Mumbai, they'll know. But there are a lot of poor people in this city. Almost like 1.2 crore people is the number we have, I think. And in and around this area, we need to get them vaccinated. And if the private people are vaccinating them, let them. If you're not able to pay for your vaccination now, go and find some blue collar person in your vicinity and get them vaccinated. उनका पैसे देके करा दो. Because there's a lot of vaccine hesitancy going on right now, and because we cannot live like this, we cannot stay like this is not a way to live life. I know a lot of people love fear. I've seen it in the last 1.5 years. लोगों को मजा आता है डरने से. मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा बाहर जाके कूदो बिना मास्क के, चलो भागो अभी मेरा वैक्सीनेशन हो गया, ये नो. Second wave में 45 days I'm sitting at home. The only friend I met was a guy who was doing home delivery for his nascent restaurant business. मैंने किसी और से नहीं मिला, मिलूँ कैसे, घर पे बैठा हूँ मैं पूरा टाइम. I've lost my mind, no doubt about it, and so have you, many of you. I know I've spoken to you guys, and I'll just say this is no way to live. This is very odd, and it doesn't matter where this virus came from. At least it doesn't matter to me because it's already done and dusted. ना वाट तो लगा दिया इस वायरस ने हम सबकी, हालत तो खराब हो गई ना. It doesn't matter to me कि कहाँ से आया क्या हुआ. अभी what matters is we need to get people vaccinated. Okay, and no, floating a global tender for your municipal corporation is not going to solve it. Yeah, it was a joke from the beginning. It ended up as one, with the said municipal corporation withdrawing that tender. Boss, they are the winning party. The pharma companies are the winning parties in this. You have no option but to give them what they want and get what you want. And this need of the that's the need of the hour. So yeah, that's all I would say, and I think it's all related. I think I'll also do another episode on what all I learned during this horrendous time that we have all endured together. And yeah, I hope things get better soon, and there is no other solution other than vaccination. There's a lot of vaccine hesitancy, as they like to call it. There are some people who think ये हमको मार देगा, ये ऐसा हो जाएगा, वैसा हो जाएगा. It's our job to go and tell them, boss, COVID भी तेरे को मारेगा. This is a good chance of saving yourself, and save yourself, our way of life, our economy. Not everyone likes to plant themselves in a dungeon. Those who do, they can. But once the vaccinations are done, we have a right to live our lives, but we can't do it until and unless we get everyone vaccinated, whether it is through private or public. Those are my only thoughts. And everyone stay safe, guys. Take care. See ya.